It's been a while indeed. Welcome, welcome, one and all. This is yours truly, Maximus of the Brothers of Steel, and welcome to Game Talk. And tonight we're going to be diving into it after a long break, but we have some awesome topics for you tonight. We'll be talking about Warframe, Fortnite, Anthem, and Monster Hunter. Probably not in that order, but those are the topics for tonight. And of course, we have the big men in the business themselves, Forsaken and Dartfred. Dartfred and Forsaken, are you there?
Yeah, right now.
So I think the first thing we're gonna tackle is we're supposed to talk about Warframe first, or is it Fortnite?
Warframe.
Well, they dive into Fortnite there. Last time we talked about that, so we could dive back into it. Just change the order. So,
okay, no problem.
So what is happening with Fortnite right now?
Well, right now we're getting ready for the end of the season 4, and we're preparing for the new content that's supposed to come with season 5, which will be starting on the 12th of July, 4 a.m. Eastern time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and with that, we saw a little teaser where they were showing, I believe, the Wild West, ancient Greece, feudal Japan, and possibly Vikings. So we're looking forward to seeing skins and content around those stuff. And the key point I think we want to talk about today is Fortnite really dead, or are we expecting something more? And Fred, what's your take on it?
Well, my take on Fortnite, it is still a trending game. It's still popular, but I think, due to statistics-wise, we're starting to see a downward trend when it comes to players and the enjoyment of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, the game is still fun to play. It's still, it's good to pass time. But to me, I think, you don't want where you're just in a stagnant situation at this point in time. You don't want another PUBG experience where it's like, okay, when are we gonna get new content? Yes, skins are great and all, but sometimes you still want something more than just skins. I know that there was a leak, or there are rumors of a new map that is coming out, which is good. What I'm saying, that might add to the length of the game and the enjoyment, because you don't always want where we're playing on this one same map over and over. Obviously, we land in the same areas because we know what to expect or who to expect to be there. But I think the new map will add and bring back a few players who may have left the game and find it a bit boring.
Well, at the end of the day, Fred, I've said from before, I've said from day one, I've told several of my friends, and I'll keep saying it again in the future. Fortnite to me is an unfinished game. I mean, it had its story mode, the Save the World feature, and it's basically they backlogged on the hype from PUBG, and they took away the larger audience for the Battle Royale genre, and they aim more for casual people. And I think as the hardcore fans have noticed this, they tend to move away from it because to them it seems too casual and it doesn't have enough improvements for them to stay on. But I think, as you point out, the new content will bring in more people. And we also have to add in the fact that Nintendo, Xbox, and PC will most likely team up for crossplay, and the Wii will be getting it soon. So the Wii already got it, so there's a lot of players that will be coming in now for it.
I mean, I'm not going to say that no, there won't be many players are coming in, but even when the whole honeymoon period is all over, you want where you still have players and they come in, players still enjoying the game and not just leaving. And the thing is, Fortnite in itself, I don't think they were expecting to reach this far. So in terms of like adding new maps, I mean, we can have a desert map, you can have a winter map, you can have a jungle map, you can have so much maps. I mean, like your dev team, apart from, let's say, skins and all of that, put some people on it to work on adding new maps. So you have new maps in different rotations. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that in itself will even boost Fortnite's popularity and player base if they have more than just 1 or 2 maps to pick and choose from. Because I mean, this map in itself is already, I would say, drawn out. You understand? It's like, okay, we know these areas. If you want to just jump in and, you know, maybe get 1 or 2 kills and then die, tilted towers. If you want to like survive a little longer, you land on the outskirts of the maps and then make your way inwards. But adding maybe 2, 3, 4 new maps with different environments, it will make it be like, okay, cool. Now this map I have to learn, and this map, and the thing is, the map is always on constant rotation, so it's not like you can play on that one map constantly to be able to know it. You have to actually like play out throughout the whole rotations and whatnot. You find which map you like from which map you don't like. But I think that's it for Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? We just have to keep our ears to the ground and hear what's coming up and what's happening with them, and hopefully, you know, they don't pull up PUBG, you know.
That kind of hard to do that, because I remember they were built on the hype from PUBG. So whatever happens now is what the player base, or what PUBG was not doing, they have to improve on to ensure that they keep a strong player base, as you pointed out. But I think at the end of the day, the main point is they aiming for everybody and not really one set of people, and to keep that strong thing going, strong player base going that they have, they'll have to keep up what they're doing with the events and the different skins and stuff. So I think Fortnite have a good year or 2 remaining before the next game that comes out that does Battle Royale even better, or with more content and better aiming, because like the hit marker in this game is insane. So Battlefield, Call of Duty doing that too, so you gotta watch out. So yeah, but as I said, yeah, that's it for Fortnite. That's about it. It's just a really popular with kids right now, and it's just on the hype train.
But even if you're supposed to, I mean, you know, talking about popular with kids, you know, is it in Australia they want to ban Fortnite? I was seeing something there. I think you mentioned that to me in private.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, there was a mention of a school banning for parental ban to Fortnite, basically because they were worried about the possibility of children encountering predators and stuff. I don't think that really bad on Fortnite itself, and it was also important to mention that you could switch off messaging and thing in the game. But I think, for moving on from that idea in Australia, I think on the whole, schools and some parents are worried about the fact that children take most of their time into this game instead of beating their books, because I mean, if you get a game on your phone, so that means you can go about playing with your friends on your phone non-stop. You don't have to play it on a console.
But then this will lead to a bigger topic. Apart from Fortnite, when we have the whole discussion, let's say do video games, you know, increase violent behavior within teens or adolescents and these sorts of stuff. And my response to people on there who blame video games for violence, I'm like, at the end of the day, you can't blame the video game or the developers. You have to blame the parents, because many of these games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, they are rated M for mature. At the end of the day, I live in the States. If you're supposed to buy a mature video game, normally they ask you for your ID. So it means now that no 14-year-old or 15-year-old is walking into any GameStop store and being able to buy these games over the counter. It means parents are going out and buying their children these games because they don't know what the game is all about. They just know, hey, my child asks for that game, I go out and I buy it. And then when they hear like obscenity, shooting, they are like, whoa, why is this game so violent? But you are the one who's responsible for your child. So if you're seeing that your child is constantly spending hours upon hours playing video games, as a parent, you can't blame the video game creators and the development team and those responsible. You have to blame yourself. Put stricter measurements in place, and PlayStation has that, where you have parental control over your child's system, even on your phone, where you can limit the amount of hours that a child can play video games and what video games you can monitor. So I think they just want to, like, as all popular video games go through this phase where it's like, if it's too popular, and depending on the team, they just be like, it's bad for kids, it's causing to increase violence and bullying. Grand Theft Auto went through it, but it's still successful. Call of Duty, Battlefield, and now we're seeing an innocent game such as Fortnite being like, it's too violent, it has guns and shooting. But at the end of the day, parents, and they should, I think, get themselves educated, especially with video games. Don't say it's something that you won't understand. You may not understand the concept, but understand what the game brings and what the game is all about. So then you can make the call whether or not your child should play that game.
All right, guys. Yeah, we crossed the time. Yeah, we crossed the time for that topic right now. We need to switch to Warframe right about now.
Fred, we'll cover that another day, because that looks like a big topic we had to talk about.
Alright.
What exactly is happening in Warframe right now?
Well, Warframe. I won't lie. When I first got my PS4, that was one of the first games I played on it. I mean, it's one of the best free MMORPGs out right now. There are still content and stuff you could pay for if you're not into spending a lot of time into searching and getting it. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know how much more changes the game has from when I played it, but I know you could have quested and got a lot of stuff. But as one of the best free MMOs out there, I can't find much fault with it. Right now, we know for a fact that Warframe will be coming to the Switch, and the studio Panic Button will be overseeing the development, and the publisher Digital Extremes will deal with dishing it out. We know for a fact there's a new faction coming out, which is the Solaris United, which is comprised of cyborgs that have made their home on Venus, and this expansion will most likely bring a lot of new content as well. I haven't really much dived into it, Fred. I know there's also a second expansion planned for next year known as Railjack, and it will elevate the players from Venusian landscape into the stars, and it will introduce space combat, which is something I'm really looking forward to. And I will definitely be jumping into the game to experience it over on my PC. I may jump back into it on PlayStation 4. I may make you jump into it as well, Fred, on PS4. So I might bring Max too, so all of us will be together there questing, because I'm here in the space battle. Fred.
Yep.
More than likely, you'll get me. I'm not too sure about Fredo.
But I'm hearing that the spaceship battles will allow players to pilot their own spaceships into the fight. They will also be able to bring their friends onto the warship and take to the stars for a full player versus environment combat. And I know for a fact they're thinking about crossplay, but we have to remember Sony isn't really into that right now. They're like punishing the other consoles for when they were advocating for it and no one wanted it. So they're like, hit them back with, well, we wanted it, you didn't want it, so now that you want it, we're not going to give you it. And we don't see why we should give you it on the whole, because we're doing extremely well with our exclusives. So you do what you got to do, we'll do us. And I am looking forward to Warframe changes. That note, Fred, I want to hear in your opinion why you don't want to try it out. Because, I mean, it's really a great free-to-play MMO game. It's amazing in my book.
I don't know. It was never like attractive to me. It's a point, you know. Everyone
kind of breaking up there, Fred.
You know, I mean, like every that they like. You know, sometimes you may try to convince your friends to play this game because of these features and aspects, and they're like, nah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? so I fall within that category where it's like, yeah, it's a game, you know, people they talk about it, but then for me it's like, nah, I will pass. I'm so sorry. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna like invest the time that is needed for the enjoyment of the game. And then for me, I think like with certain games like those, you know, like if people and they have a certain level cap, it is like hard for me to be like, all right, cool. So clearly you put in the hours, you know, for this game, and your skill level is there, and I'm kind of new, so I might feel like, you know, a noob. So then I'll be like, nah, it's
You would be
okay.
a
Like
noob.
this is your game. Yeah, you go ahead, man. You enjoy your game. You have fun, and you know. So that's just for me. I can't really talk about the game much because I didn't put in the time needed for it, and I don't want to be like, you know, the game is straight up trash, you know, to offend any Warframe fans that we have. So yeah.
I think, as I pointed out earlier, it's one of the best MMOs out. It's a great game for PlayStation 4. It was great on Xbox. It's great on PC. And I am looking, although I don't use Switch right now, I know my Switch fans and users will be looking forward to it and using it more. Well, on the mobile outlook, they'll be moving around with it now. So I'm thinking to myself, like, the player base might rise with it. And as most games in the world right now, as I pointed out earlier, move into the idea of crossplay, which in my book, I personally find the idea of crossplay kind of a no-no in a sense, because it defeats the purpose of getting different consoles and stuff. We'll cover that another day.
Yeah.
The idea of
But
crossplay.
no, but I mean, not to go too much deep into it, but all I would just say with crossplay, I support crossplay because at the end of the day, I mean, we'll go deeper into it, but from my point of view on it is that not everybody can afford the same console. So it's like, if at least I have a laptop that can run a game and you have a PlayStation that can run a particular game, you know, we could still play together, though I don't have the money to be able to afford to buy a PlayStation, the game, and PlayStation Plus, if you understand what I'm saying. But we will talk about cross-platform play at a later date, I guess.
Yeah, I will point out though in regards to the crossplay idea. My main reason for behind it is we have to remember at the end of the day we use different controllers, mouse and keyboard in the case of PC, and we have different specs on the console. So these varying things affect the games across board and how people play. So I mean, I like the idea of people talking about playing with friends and stuff, but you have to look at the mini stuff that goes along with it and problems that will pop up, and you'll hear people talk about. But yeah, moving on. And regards with Warframe, I'm glad they're bringing all this new content and hearing rumors about the hoverboard. Oh, but yeah, go ahead, Max.
I just want to add my casual gamer perspective on this. In my opinion, Warframe is pretty old, and the fact that they have managed to remain constant in this ever-changing gaming environment says something a lot about this game. And
that's.
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing with you, yeah, because I think they have set the standard which other gaming companies need to look at, because they somehow came up with a formula where people don't feel cheated and they get a lot of game content and they get updates all the time, and this is just a continuation of that. I think Warframe has set the trend technically.
It not really trend, we would say set the bar, because they set the bar for MMO standards that free-to-play should look at. I mean, although the tenos, which are the units and skins you use in the game, you have to pay for some of them or pay to get some content. Because as I said, I haven't played in a while. I don't know if it's still the same as before, where you can unlock everything by playing through. Max, you could correct me if you know, or you guys out there, you could correct me. But it's like you could pay to get it now, but at the same time, if you have friends, you could have fun questing to get it. You don't have to pay for it, and most of the stuff are purely cosmetic. I mean, the guns in them are nice. They help you get an edge in a way, but there's a skill gap with it, so you have to practice and use it constantly to improve and get better with it. And do more damage and stuff, level up and all this. So it's not like to say the game is pushing it or holding you back in a sense from saying, oh, if you don't pay, you're not going to be able to do this, that, and whatever. It's like, no, come play with your friends, experience it, get the stuff, build, improve. We're going to bring new content. We're going to bring new stuff. And I remember when I played it on PS4, one of the most fun moment I had was the space fight. I can't remember the name of this thing. You had to build the generator wings or something. You got on your back. I don't know if you know what it's called, Max. It's the thing, and you do the flying mission with the gun, and you're flying around shooting and stuff in space. It was amazing for me. It was something I was excited for. I was like, wow, this game just went from running around on the ground into, holy crap, I'm flying in space, shooting, and it's like a completely different gameplay. It's not like it's the same thing. Oh, just jump in constantly. It's like, no, I'm moving throughout this freedom of space, and I'm having fun doing it.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, it's something, as you said, Fred, it's not your cup of tea. I mean, you're having fun in Battlefield 1 now because you're no longer the noob. Because, like, after you take my skills and you improve them yourself, you constantly boast about it now that you're better than me and stuff. And we all know when we're on opposite teams what happens, but we're not going to go there right now. But yeah, I think that's about it. We're going to talk Warframe because the new content and thing to come out, we'll go into more depth when we get more information and stuff. And I think that's it for Warframe.
Okay, I think next up on the agenda is Monster Hunter.
It's Anthem.
Okay.
Yeah, you completely bypass EA's new pet project that will probably make or break BioWare, and either it will bring them back to the forefront as a company we respect and love, or it will just toss them aside and end up with the dying of a great company.
So we talking about Monster Hunter, or we're gonna talk about Anthem?
We're gonna talk about Anthem, Fred.
Alright, well, my take on Anthem, as gamers, we know the dangers of hype. Game can be teased, a trailer can sell a game, and we basically spend our money off of trailers nowadays. We no longer wait on days of betas or reviews to be able to buy a game. Once we see that trailer and we like it, it's like, yo man, I'm getting that game. We see the price, we like, yeah, we buy it online, because a lot of copies or a lot of games are being bought digitally now. So when it comes to Anthem, I think that we can't be too overhyped for it. We have to be really careful in terms of how we go about, because the development process so far for Anthem was a bit shaky, especially to the lead up of this E3. Hold on.
Yeah, as Fred goes there for a sec, something probably popped up. I wanted to go through Fred, you back? Looks like he's still doing it, but yeah, as Fred's pointing out with yeah, there we go, Fred's back.
Sorry about that there. Yeah, what was I saying?
You were talking about Anthem and how we can't just let the companies and them sell us the idea from just the trailers.
Yeah, what I'm saying. So I think it is looking at like a promising game. The whole mechanics and the story behind it, but at the end of the day too, there's still certain elements that I don't agree with, where like the online component is that you must always be online to be able to play. You know what I'm saying? So what if somebody doesn't have internet access for maybe a day or two, but they can still play games that doesn't require online components and requirements? Now that are you saying that I can't play this marvelous game because my Wi-Fi is down due to technical difficulties beyond my control? So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not saying that it has my money, it has sold me just yet, So I'm still watching Anthem, basically.
Let me put my 2 cents down. BioWare is a company that has really done wrong. We have to forgive them for games like Dragon Age Inquisition and the latest Mass Effect that probably killed the series, but hopefully we'll see Mass Effect coming back and they'll try to cover that past. But we have to remember the parent company EA, it's controlling them, and we know for a fact that during Mass Effect Andromeda's development stages, the game was rushed. They pulled developers to bring them onto the Anthem project, and there have been so much changes EA has made to try to monopolize these games and projects, from the loot box scandal, especially with the Star Wars game, that literally killed it for you, Fred. I mean, you loved it and you were boasting to me to get it. By the way, I remember when I told you don't buy it, it's going to suck, and you were like, nah, it's going to go good, and I'm like, no, it's going to suck. And I was right, it sucked, it failed because of that loot box and the poor teammates game, the teammates gameplay as well. When you're squadding up and you're squadding up with random people and you're not sticking to the same team, that was pretty stupid.
The game on a whole is rather terrible, and what upset me the most was that when you watch influential YouTubers and they like you, not necessarily like us. I mean, we are small guys, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate our subscribers. We love you guys, the support you guys show, you know, the comments, the time that you take to, you know, watch the stream, even if it's for like 5 minutes. But you know, to me, they weren't talking about the true issues of the game. The game on a whole, gunplay, skill, mechanics, the approach towards the game, it was terrible. It sucked. I mean, like you don't even get kills in that game anymore. Like, it's so rare to get a kill. Like, you can do so much damage and somebody can just, you know, shoot that one person for like the last like 5 HP they have, and you get kill assist. Like, yo, that is like the top of what you call KSing. Like, yo, man, you just stole my kill. I'm just getting kill assist after kill assist, and you don't get kills. But I don't like to like mention Star Wars because I wasted money on that game. It's terrible. It's depressing every single time I log in. It's like instant depression.
Yeah, and that's what we basically have to worry and look about with Anthem coming in the future, if they will basically that will happen. But enough of the problems we're going to face with it. As I was trying to point out earlier, I am looking forward to it because this is BioWare's pet project. This is a project that will make or break their company. This is where they make their literal last stand. If this fails, BioWare as a company, regardless of what EA thinks or what EA did that led up to their downfall, will be a failure in the eyes of most gamers. They will lose the name BioWare that we come to know, respect, and love. I mean, even with the failure of Mass Effect, Andromeda, we're still looking forward largely to this game. And I've read up a few tidbits here and there about the game, and something I'm interested in. I've always pointed out with most games coming out. I think last time me and Max were talking about The Last of Us, we were talking about immersion. This key point I read about it is that the environment can have effect on your gameplay. And just one thing they mentioned from it, and I'm hoping it's implemented throughout the game in different aspects, is the fact that when you're flying, it's limited due to the heat. Your javelin suit, which is basically the suit of armor you're seeing right now, heats up, which could lead to you falling and to cool down your suits and stuff. And they were saying if it's raining, you'll be able to fly longer because the rain will provide a cooling effect to your suit. And I'm saying to myself, yes, these are the minor things you look for in games that bring out the best of the game. I mean, it's not something you'll be like, I want this in the game. It's like you're playing the game, and then all of a sudden, as I said, imagine you're playing the game and then you're flying, you're constantly pissed about how you always have to be jumping down to cool out yourself. And then you're like, oh, there's a lake. I'm flying. I'm going to just do a quick swoop down into the lake. My suit's cool off. And while I'm curving back up to go back into the air, I'm flying longer. And then if you're like, it's raining, as I said, they pointed out, and it's helping to cool your javelin suit to make you last longer. These little things will make you want to play the game. It makes you look forward to the environmental changes because now you're like, I'm playing with my friends and it's sunny and we're going to do this quest at a longer distance place. And then we see the storm coming in, the rain preparing to fall. And we're like, oh, now we could go longer distance faster because we don't have to land to cool down. We could just fly constantly and stuff. And those little things are what I look for more in the game in comparison to the idea that you could do custom paint jobs to your suit and stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really bothered about that because it's not going to affect my gameplay. It's not going to tell me how much damage I'm going to do. It's going to look cool, but that's about it. I'm not really bothered for that. But what about you, Fred? Are you more looking forward to the customization effects with the paint jobs and geometry mods and stuff? Or are you, like me, looking forward to the immersion, the environmental effects, and what other little tidbits in the game that's going to affect our gameplay?
Basically for me, I'm just looking at the gameplay elements. Like, what are you gonna offer? Is it going to be a game with a great storyline that we can follow along, you know, with friends? Is it going to be a game where, you know, it's just full on exploration and you tell a story the way you want it to, you know, to be? I'm just looking at it from that point of view. Cosmetics, you know, I'm not so big on the cosmetics, but also I just want to make sure that whatever microtransactions that you plan to implement, if any at all, they don't affect the game in any particular way. Once everybody can obtain it, whether or not, you know, even with cosmetics, like, okay, do I have to spend money or can I, you know, get these materials and, you know, be able to still get this here, whatever it is, you know, that's basically my point of view.
Well, there was mention about the fact that, or the possibility, I'm going to say possibility because this is EA at the end of the day. We can't really trust them 100%. There was mention the possibility of you being able to get the cosmetics in-game through progression, but it will take relatively longer than if you just buy it outright, and which is what point back to what we were mentioning earlier, me and Max were mentioning with Warframe. It's something that is a good standard for games to go through. Yeah, you could pay to get it now, but if you want it, you could also play the game and get it, which is something that will tell players, oh, I beat the game, but you know I could get this cool skin if I play and do this quest or do this longer, which is something that keeps people coming to the game. And BioWare and EA have come out saying, this is the next 8 years they're going to be working on this game. They're going to be rolling out content and stuff. So these are things they have to do. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Well, I guess, you know, time will tell. I think it's coming out next year, March, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, you know, whenever we do get more info on Anthem, you know, tune into Game Talks where we could, you know, talk about it more.
Yeah, while we're doing this, one more thing with Anthem, I want to mention to you guys, I don't know if you know about it, but remember Origin has the Origin Access, which is a pet project to get old games. They are also planning to roll out Origin Premier, which is basically you paying a little bit more money. I don't know how much it is yet. I have to look back at the price and find out for you guys. It may be $10 or maybe $20, but basically every month you pay that fee, and you'll get their new games as well to play. You'll get like the base version of the game. So like they said, for now, you're guaranteed to play FIFA 19, Madden, Anthem will also be there. These are games that are coming out in the future, but you'll get to play them from day one once you pay for Origin Premier Access. So I don't know if you don't feel like to buy the game, but you want to just pay for Origin Access to have access to all the games in their library. You could just do that instead, and you'll get the games to play. So you can look forward to that. But at the end of the day, I think that's it we have for Anthem. There's not much more to talk about it besides the classes and stuff. And we'll go over that in another video when we get more information, because they haven't explained all the classes properly. So I think we could get ready to move on to our next topic. Max, you ready?
Yeah, I was born ready. Next topic is our Monster Hunter, right?
Of course, we saved the best for last.
Okay. What's happening with the Monster Hunter?
Well, It's something we've been waiting for too long. We've been waiting for this, especially you guys who are also like me and Max. We're PC gamers at the heart of it. So, you know, we were waiting for this announcement. And they finally announced it. Monster Hunter will be coming to PC on the 9th of August, I believe. I hope I'm right. I'm trying to remember it from the top of my head. But the key points of it is, well, there will be no current support for mods. And we're all hating this because as PC gamers, this is something we look forward to, modding the game, adding content, adding, you know, armor sets and stuff. And Monster Hunter, it's all about the armor sets. So, you know, mods that will allow us to use different monster materials, create new weapons, and new armor sets would be good. There's no current topic about crossplay, although Capcom have went out their way to make Street Fighter 5 have a certain element of crossplay to it. So we don't know what's going to happen on that end. It may be in the future, but not now. And there's also, you know, mention about how the content from consoles will be rolling out slowly for us on PC. And right now, I guess what me and Fred will talk about is like what to expect to come, because me and Fred have played Monster Hunter for hundreds of hours. Me personally, have played Monster Hunter for hundreds of hours. I haven't played in a while. I'm going to get back into it soon because, you know, we're going to have our usual RPG Sundays. And Fred, what do you think what do you believe PC gamers should mostly be looking forward to?
I think for PC gamers, the chance to play a new Monster Hunter game is long awaited. I mean, we on the PlayStation 4, as I said, even before the release of the game and the tease for last year E3, I was always saying, like, the life cycle of the PlayStation 4, where what's there, we had the Pro at that point in time, and I was always saying, I was like, listen, if Capcom doesn't release a Monster Hunter game this year, they have wasted an opportunity. And so said, so done, that they actually delivered. I called it. I was like, yo, we will be getting a Monster Hunter game. And for PC players to now get that same fresh, crisp looking Monster Hunter game that we have put in hundreds of hours, as you said, like into, now they can actually join in and enjoy it. I think, you know, that's all that was needed. That's all we wanted. Well, for PC players, that is, you know. So the game is great. I think that they will enjoy the game, you know, no doubt. And it will be successful, you know. Monster Hunter, I won't say it got any negative reviews or anything like that. I mean, obviously the storytelling aspect of it was pretty quick and short, you know. It's just like, go face this monster. Oh wait, you need better gear for it. Okay, you need to spend some time until you reach this HR rank to be able to get that gear to then go and face back the monster again. But once you know, basically complete all the quests and you know on your free roam per se, you have fun, especially with friends. So I think the PC community will enjoy it, no doubt.
Yeah, I think the thing we're wondering is like what separate content PC gamers will get, because we know for a fact PlayStation got the best out of it. We got the limited edition skins, we got the extra content earlier on, mainly for PlayStation 4 users. So I'm looking forward to see what games they could implement to get, you know, the skins and unique content for PC gamers, because there's so much that Capcom could go into for it. PC is here. We know the graphics option. This is what PC gamers are waiting for. We were waiting to change the settings to bring out the maximum beauty of Monster Hunter, because as I've pointed out to a few people and friends before, console gaming is limited to, in a sense, to how far they could push graphics. That's not bad for them. I mean, it's a price cap we're willing to sacrifice for. And PC, if you have the money, we build some of the best stations out. So now we get to abuse it to say, hey, this is how the game should look. This is how it should feel. This is the smoothness it should give.
But I mean, you know, for me, I think, you know, the graphics war would have been for, let's see, when we would have been looking at, let's say, the PlayStation 3 era or the Xbox 360, where games and they were not pushing themselves to reach a certain standard. But we reached a day and a time where, graphics are no longer used to define a game. I mean, people and they still talk about it, people still mention it, but at the end of the day, what works or what makes a game great is the content. So even though, yes, PC players can now maximize their graphics card that they spent all their money on, at the end of the day, still, it's still, even on the PlayStation 4, not even the Pro, it still looks like a beautiful game. The colors, everything blend well. So I just think, the content, once the PC community gets the content that they want and they desire, the game will do even great. So yeah.
Yeah, as you just pointed out, yeah, the game will do well on PC. As I am saying, the main beauty of it for PC is that we get to change the graphic settings and put the game in to make it look better. Because I mean, that's all we're going to get really different from Monster Hunter for PC. I really don't know why they didn't launch it all together, because I think they'd just break all the records directly for Capcom. It is the best selling game they have, and I know they're going to be rolling out stuff for us. And I think what makes Monster Hunter even more successful than its counterparts, although it didn't sell as much as most of the hyped up games out there, is the fact that DLCs are free. The addition DLC, or basically downloadable content, are free. So whenever they bring out a new monster update, they bring out a new map area, they have the events, the new bosses and stuff. And I was really hoping that when they announced the PC part, they'd announce a new map. But they usually just include new sections that we could only get during events. It's awesome that we're getting this free and we don't have to pay extra for it. This is something Capcom is doing to keep the audience interested. It's like we're rolling out monsters and stuff for you. I mean, we're going to get Final Fantasy's Bahamut, if I remember correctly, coming soon. So we're going to get to fight that, and we'll probably get new equipment and things for it, which is awesome. There's even an event going on right now. There is the Celestial Pursuit event, which is going on right now. So if you log into Monster Hunter, you're going to see the completely changed background for it. You're going to get new equipment. You're going to get decorations to see it. There's special costumes to unlock. So it's something to look forward to, and PC gamers will be looking forward to all these different events and stuff to chase after. And as you've personally pointed out, when you beat the game, there's so much to do after. It's like it isn't going to stop, which is great. This is what we look for games. We look for value for our buck. And if you want to put a price to game, you probably say like maybe $1 per hour. It's 60 hours minimum we're looking for a game. But a game like Monster Hunter isn't going to give you that little 60 hours. I mean, when Monster Hunter came out, I played it non-stop. I mean, I'm sure everybody who logged in when you saw me, I was playing Monster Hunter. I clocked in like in the 300 and something hours already. And it's like, this is one of the best games I've played in a while. And if it wasn't for the games I know are coming out this year, God of War and all these other games, I think I told you personally that I believed it was a Game of the Year candidate. Plus, I was enjoying myself with it, Fred.
Yeah, I really, I'm not say I won't say I was disappointed with God of War. I mean, God of War really and truly did surprise us and shock us, and they do. God of War really does deserve Game of the Year, from my point of view, at least from the games that came out. But before that, what Monster Hunter offered, I mean, like, it all depends on you. Like, if you're a person who's a completionist that must have everything, wants to have everything, every single armor set, every single weapon, every type of weapon, like, you can spend thousands. Well, I won't say thousands, but you can spend hundreds upon hundreds of hours and still reach nowhere close to getting every single thing that you want. There will be always that, like, one material that you just so need that you kill the monster over and over and it's not dropping. But to say the least, PC players, and they will enjoy the game, no doubt. It will, it will sell its copies, it will bring in its revenue. And but I think that's it there for Monster Hunter. You know what I'm saying? At least from my point of view.
Yeah, my point of view, I think that's about it for Monster Hunter. I wish we had another guest we wanted to appear here to talk to us and ask us questions about the game. Max, you know who I'm talking about. But we'll just have to do it that for now, because that's about it we could talk about with Monster Hunter. There's not much more we know about it coming, except the fact that Switch is not going to get Monster Hunter World for a while. We don't know if in the future you'll be seeing Switch version.
They ain't gonna get. So I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it for tonight. It was great to be back, guys, and hopefully we'll be back with more and even more. As I said, with more and even more content for us to go through with you guys. Max, it's all you here.
Well, yeah, definitely. It's great to be back, guys. Don't forget, you can check us out every Wednesday night. We're changing it from Tuesday to Wednesday night, and this Friday we'll definitely be jumping in some Fortnite action, so you can look out for that this week. And also, hopefully, we get a new video out for you. We are big things for this summer, and we're looking for big things from many gaming companies. And don't forget, Forsaken and I will be having a special series called Just for You Casual Gamers. Okay, so look out for that this week also. So that's it for tonight. This has been yours truly, Maximus, Dartfred, and Forsaken, and this has been Game Talk.